Welcome back to Black News Tonight. All this month in Black August and beyond, it's important to remember that Black struggles for justice and freedom are international. They're worldwide. Last week, we had an interview with Ambassador Timmy Frank. He spoke about anti-Black racism in Indonesia, as well as the plight of the Black indigenous people of West Papua, an Indonesian-ruled province on the island of New Guinea. Tonight, we're excited to be able to continue that conversation. My next guest is a West Papuan independence leader and a Nobel Prize nominee. He's currently living in exile in the UK. It is my honor to welcome Interim President Benny Wenda of the United Liberation Movement of West Papua. President Wenda, thank you so much for joining us on Black News Tonight.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. The island of New Guinea gets its name from Europeans who thought your people resembled the people of Guinea, West Africa. But I wanted to ask you, as a West Papuan, how do you identify? Do you identify as Black, for example?
Thank you. West Papua are Black people, and 95% are Black people. And there is West Papuan left Africa continent earlier before European. 15,000 years ago, people of West Papua settled in New Guinea settled in New Guinea Island.
There's a relationship between, I think, what you're struggling for and other freedom struggles around the world, both now and throughout history. Do you see what's happening in West Papua as connected to Black freedom struggles around the globe? And if so, what struggles resonate with you? Which ones do you feel most connected to?
This struggle is a last colony of the Black liberation movement. We know that Africa continent in Caribbean also liberate themselves from the colonialism. West Papua struggle is from the one colonial power and ended over to another colonial power, which is Indonesia. Used to the Dutch colonize us, then second colonizer is Indonesia. Indonesia illegally occupied our country 1963. Since then, Indonesia massacred 500,000 men, women, and children just because of we are being different, being Black. They want to wipe out entire Black people in West Papua. And the discrimination, racism, last 60 years. Why world they don't know? Because of Indonesia banned the journalists, Amnesty International, Red Cross, International Peace Brigade last 50 years. So that's why nobody knows West Papua struggle.
I read an article where you said that August 15th, 1962 marked what you called a day of betrayal. This is when the big powers decided the future of West Papua without consulting the people of West Papua. Can you talk a little bit about August 15th and how this sort of plays into a bigger conversation, I think, about self-determination?
What happened, so-called New York Agreement, 15th of August 1962, big power like Netherlands, US, Indonesia decide my people future. West Papua used to be listed decolonization, decolonization listed, but Indonesia wants West Papua, the part of the territory, because of the, at the time Indonesia got independent from the Netherlands 1945. West Papua, that's kept separate because the Dutch argued that West Papua are the Black people, nothing to do with Indonesia or Javanese, because they are Black people historically, geographically, linguistically nothing to do with Javanese or nothing to do with Indonesia. They are black people connected to Aboriginal black or Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, uh, Fiji, Vanuatu. This is connected. So they kept, but Indonesia really wants West Papua part of their colony because of the former colony. Dutch colonized Indonesia 300 years. When Indonesia got independent, they argued that this is all the Dutch colony, our part of our territory. That's their argument. But then the time U.S. government intervened, and then because of the Indonesia threatening the West, that if you not give West Papua to us, we will join Cold War. That's why they discuss without any West Papua in the room. They decide our future in 15 of August 1962 in New York. Yesterday we marching across West Papua, including rejection of the racism and discriminations. Currently, while I'm speaking, many people have been beaten up, and one of them are shot dead in the highlands. So one of the leader, Victor Jaimo, is still in prison because he's a victim of the racism 2019, where Indonesia called student in Surabaya monkey go home. That's abusive word imposed to West Papua. So they're also remembering 2 years racism in West Papua. So racism is not only uh, in West Papua facing, but I think what happened in our brother Nigerian diplomat in Indonesia, racist. He can't breathe. Also, West Papua can't breathe. Just like our brother George Floyd. What happened? So, in terms of racism, discrimination, it's all black people in whether you are Nigerian or Africa or Caribbean or West Papua or Pacific or everywhere black people are facing. So that's why I'm calling
Absolutely.
all black leaders in Africa unions, particularly Black Caucus in America, because this is the black struggle. I'm a black president from West Papua. I'm fighting for the black liberation, whole entire planet. We unite to free ourselves, to enjoy the freedom for all, not whether you are Africa
Sir, before you go,
Caribbean or
sir, before, Mr. President, Mr. President, give me a moment. I want to ask you a question before we run out of time. We mentioned that you were living in exile. I only have about a minute left. Why are you in exile?
I was in prison 25 years just because of this flag behind me. I raised with my people in West Papua. They put me in the prison. They want to kill me. I ran away. Many leaders been imprisoned and killed and poisoned, just like Nelson Mandela. They put him prison a very long time. Just I'm a luckiest person, but many leaders been killed in prison. But I'm exiled now
President
here in the UK.
Absolutely. Well, President Wenda, we wish you continued safety and success in your struggle for the freedom and self-determination of your people. Thank you so much for joining me on Black News tonight. Still to come, tennis superstar Naomi Osaka takes to Twitter in a show of support for Haiti. But up next, actress Jalen Barron joins the show to talk about her new series, Blind Spotting. Stay tuned.